Good afternoon to all. Happy to see you all in the second session of Python learning. I'm Yogesh here. So first session, first webinar, we saw some introduction about Python, and I taught you how to install Python and then how to install Anaconda. All that we have seen in the first webinar. So in the second webinar, we are going to start what are the different data types and a few idea about variables. All that is what we are going to see in this session, second session of Python learning. So let me just share my screen. So to make this session live and hands-on kind of a webinar, I am going to open Jupyter Notebook. So in Jupyter Notebook, we are going to do the hands-on. Since I have shown you how to install Anaconda, and this is a part of Anaconda. So you have Jupyter Notebook here. So I have just opened this Jupyter Notebook. This is where I am going to do all the hands-on for this Python learning. Okay, so when you open Jupyter Notebook, you'll be able to see all the folders and individual files also like this. You can see that. And if you want to go with a new one, that is also okay. In the right side, you have new and Python 3. So click on that. You will be able to see a new file open for you. And this file will be automatically saved. So once in every 15 seconds, 20 seconds, it is going to save what you are, loading into it, typing into it, and all that. So this editor, this can be used to write the code and execute it directly by, by means of each line of code or, a set of lines of code that can be directly executed by pressing Shift key and Enter key together. For example, see this, I am typing x equal to 10. And in the next line, I am just typing x, Shift Enter. You can see that the output has come as 10. So this is how, in Python, we can directly execute the code. And suppose if I want to add some notes kind of a thing, or I want to explain something, then what I can do is I can go here and I can put it as a markdown. So this markdown is going to be something like a notepad, what we have used. Okay, so notepad kind of a thing where I can just like that type the document, the content, anything. Okay, so this is the idea about the Jupyter Notebook where we are going to write our code. To start with, we have seen the installation part, installation of Python 3.9, I have shown you. And then we have installed Anaconda. And part of this Anaconda package is this Jupyter Notebook. In the Jupyter Notebook, I have opened a new file, Python file. In this, you can even name it. You can see here in the top, it shows untitled. Just click there and name it. I am typing Python data types. Okay, right. So I am going to use this as a markup and I'm going to start typing. Okay, so any programming language or any programming tool or a package, there is a structure of programming. Like always, we have a structure called, a standard format is available, a standard structure is available. Whether it's a structured programming language or not, people always have this as the steps. So first step, what we do is we declare the variables. Second step is we go for the input. Then we go for the process or calculations. And then what is the output, right? So this is how we have been following. In Python, it is not going to be like that. In Python, it is going to understand what you are trying to do with Python in Python. So that is one very big advantage. But anyway, whatever data values we have, that has to be stored somewhere, right? So the data values has to be held in a container, right? The container which holds the data values, that is what is called as variable. Okay, so variable, you can take it like this, is a container which holds the data value, right? Okay, variable, changeable means it can change its values upon execution of the program, upon execution of the code. That's why it's called variable. So knowing about variable is very important. But before that, we need to know about the different types of operators that are in use in the programming language which we are using. So Python also has got different types of operators. Okay, so why we need to know about the operators is because all the calculations, all the computations involves operators. The basic operators everyone knows is the arithmetic operators, logical operators, relational operators, all that, right? So to know more about operators, what I am going to do is I am just going to open one more file so that we will not spend time typing all that. I have it handy for you. From that, I can explain you. So these are the four main types of Python operators. So the first one is arithmetic operator, then assignment operator, then we have comparison operators, and we have logical operators. Okay, so what is this arithmetic operators? You have addition, subtraction, division. In division, you have three types of divisions. One is which shows you the remainder also. One is which doesn't show the remainder. Okay, so all that. Then comes multiplication. This is actually the hierarchy also it follows. So power of is mentioned by a double star. You can see that, right? So for example, I am assigning two values to A and B. A is going to have 5, B is going to have 6. Now I just add it, multiply it, subtract it, all that, and then I print it. See, for example, I am just adding A and B to C, and then I just press Shift Enter to see the results. You can see that it shows 11 as the result. Now this I am changing it as into, and I execute the code. You can see that it shows 30, right? So like this is how it is going to work. Okay, for division, you can see this. A is 15, B is 3. So I just want the value of A by B. You can see that it shows the result as 5. Okay, one more thing. Any kind of a program, any kind of code we write, it is a standard thing to add a comment to whatever codes we write. Adding a comment is very easy in Python. So when you would like to know about Python data types before all these things, that is the starting point of Python programming language. Okay, so how do I add a comment? How to add a comment? Okay, so single hash followed by anything. Okay, test message, something like that. This is going to be considered as a comment in Python. Now I have a code. After the line of code, if I want to add a comment, then I go with double hash. For example, A equal to 10 is there. After this, I want to know give some information about this. So I add double hash and then I put it like this. Okay, assigned value of 10 to A. So this is how you can add a single line comment or a comment after the line of code, or you can have multi-line comments also. So all that is allowed in Python. So that is why you can see here at every stage I have added the comment. You can see that A/B. So double hash I have added. Okay, so like this, see, this is double slash, this is for floor division. So just like that, if you put A/B, people may not understand what you are trying to create. So what we can do is, in general, any kind of a logic that we write, any kind of a calculations that we write, it is always a good practice to have the comments added at the end of the line of the code. Okay, so that is how it is all has come. If you want the reminder, okay, so you can go for this percentage or the modulus operator. Okay, right. So all these are examples of the arithmetic operators. You can see here. Now, how do we use this? See, in general, what we do, x equal to 10, y equal to 20, like that also we give. Other than that, some equations like x equal to x plus 5, x equal to x minus 5, all that, the alternative ways of using, you can see here. See, just like that, if I want to assign, I just assign it as x equal to 5. If I want to assign x equal to x plus 3, I put it as x plus equal to 3. So I need not repeat that variable name again and again. So the same thing you can see here, x equal to x minus 3. So that also you can see here, x minus equal to 3. So into x into 3, x divided by equal to. So that way also you can use in Python. You can use the normal way, x equal to x plus 5, x equal to x minus 5, x into 5, something like that, or the other way also you can use. Now we call it as relational operator, we call it as comparison operator. Okay, so you have two values. For example, you have see here 2, x is 2, y is 2. I just want to find out whether they are true or not, they are equal or not, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So all these operators are available in Python. The same like how we use in other programming languages, here also we have the same. Okay, right. So see here, I just typed x greater than 5. Now, when I go with the output, you can see that it says no, because X is equal to Y. Okay, so all this is relational or comparison operators, and then comes the logical operators. I'm very sure that you all are aware about the logical operators and are not. All these three operators, logical operators, you all are aware, right? So now see this, X is less than or equal to 5 and X is less than 10. So I am just trying to run the code. It says true. Why it shows true? Because it is in that range, right? Now, suppose if I change this, X is less than or equal to 5 and X is less than or equal to 4. I run that, you can see that the results gets changed. You can see that it shows false. So this is how you can use the logical operators directly with the operator called and, or, and is this and this, condition 1 and condition 2. Or is either one of the condition, not the condition, not equal to some value, right? That is what is comes as not operator. Now, apart from this, in Python, you have something called as identity operators. What is this identity operators is, whether I have two variables or two objects, whether both are same or not. If it is same, if it is not same, right? So the English keywords that I use here is what is the words used here as identify operators. Is and is not is called as the identity operators. Okay, so see this example, you'll understand. Now X is 2, Y is also 2. I am just checking X is Y. So I just run that. You can see that it shows true. Means X value and Y value, both the object values are the same. Both the variable values are the same. Now here itself, if I add not, okay, so not not, and let me make a change here. Instead of 2, I am making it as 3 here. You can see that, right? So X is not Y. Okay, it shows true. Now I remove this not and run this, it will show false. So X is not equal to Y. So is and is not are the two identity operators you can see here, is and is not. The same way you have something called as membership operators. What is this membership operators is in and not in. Okay, so I have a range of values. I just want to check whether this particular value is in this range or not, in this range of values or not. I would like to find out. Okay, so in that case, I can go for these membership operators. So in and not in. So in example I have here, I am going to teach you this data type also. Just for time being, you just understand that I have a range of values here. I am using the in operator. Okay, so I am just going to find out 1 in X. If 1 is there in X, it is going to be giving me the result as true. Okay, see, for example, I am just typing 5 in X. I am running the code. It says that false, means 5 value is not available in the range of values. So that way, this membership operator can help us. All these things in other programming languages, what we used to do is we normally used to, write a if condition for this. We'll create a loop to find the element by element of the list items and then check whether it satisfies the condition and all that. But now it's made simplified, it's made easy for us. So we don't require all that complicated lines of code either to create or to remember. You just can use any one of these operators. I just want to know whether it is there or not in the list of elements. So the same way, like how in is there, the opposite one is not in. Okay, so I am just typing here 6 not in X. Shift enter, I am running it. You can see that it says true. Okay, so now I change this as 2. Let me execute this. You can see that it says false. Means 2 is in X. Okay, so this is what is called as membership operators of Python, in, not in. So let me just repeat this. You have 4 types of important types of operators. The first one is the general operators that we always use. So arithmetic operators, plus, minus, slash, double slash, modulus, asterisk, and then the power of, okay, for squaring. And then we have the relational operators or the comparison operators, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. So we have seen some examples for that. And then logical operators, the same 3 logical operators. The English word and or not can be straight away used. And then you have 2 special types of operators. One is called as identity operators, which is and is not. This is for comparing 2 variables to check whether they are same or not. Their values are same or not. Okay, so is and is not. Same way, membership operators. Why it's called as membership operators is from the members, it is going to find, from a list of values, it is going to find whether this member is available or not. So for this, we have in and not in. Hopefully, you would have understood the purpose of these operators. And we have seen how to add a comment. Now let us proceed to the variables. Variables is changeable. See, Python, just like that, does not has got any specific syntax for the variables. This is one very big advantage, if you ask me, since I have used different programming languages and programming environments. I could say that I would say that here it is very simple. Okay, so what way it is very simple, if you ask me. Naming alone is going to be little important here. Okay, so what is that naming rules? The first thing is you have to understand your data, whatever be the data. First, understand the data and then find out how many inputs or how many values you require for your process, and accordingly you can define. Normally in programming, we have we follow some unique types of naming variables. See, for example, if I am going to deal with the employee data, how I would name the variables? I will always take something as the first letter, or set of maybe 2-3 characters related to that particular data. So if you say employee data, I may go like this. I will take like this: EMP name means employee name, EMP ID employee ID, okay, and then EMP department, something like this. So this can be this way also: E name, EID, E department. Some people put it the other way: EMP underscore name, EMP underscore ID, EMP underscore department. This way also people define variables. Okay, in Python, what is the difference? it is case sensitive. Okay, the variable name are case sensitive. That is very important. So A is equal to 10 and capital A is equal to 10. Both of these are different. Okay, this A equal to 10 and this A equal to 10 are different. Okay, what other important rules you have got? Okay, so all these are rules. All these are rules for the variable names. So first rule, it is case sensitive, I have told you. And then the second one is always start the variable name with a character. Okay, so don't start it with a number like 0 or 1 or something like that. Always start the variable name with a character. Special character if you want to include the underscore. Okay, underscore is what is understood by Python, so you can use that. Right, so these are the important things which you have to keep in mind when you are trying to create variables. So some identity must be there, some uniqueness must be there to the set of variables that you are creating for one particular task or for one particular code or one particular calculations. So here you can see that this is going to be easy to understand anyway. So EMP name or EMP underscore name or E name, all these are related to the employee data, right? So for example, if you take a hospital data, so we put it as P underscore name or PAT name or PAT underscore name or just P name. So patient name, patient age, right? So patient diagnosed for something like that. So all related to this. And why this unique kind of naming is very important is because everywhere it is datafication. Whatever you see, all that is datafied. Okay, so in such cases, to get more insights of your data, the basic idea starts from the naming of the variables. I have seen in many projects, these kind of unique names is what is easy to remember also by the programmers. Okay, it is easy to remember and it is easy to call, use, all that. So that is the idea of variable names. Okay, so how do you create variables? Okay, now the next question arises is, how do you declare a variable? There is no special rule for declaring a variable. It will understand when you start assigning values, it will understand the data type. This is also one wonderful thing. Okay, so today's session is about that only. We are going to see about the data types and the operators. Operators we have already seen. Now, when I say any data type, it is all something related to the variables, the data values. What is the type of the data value these variables are going to hold in them? Okay, so for that, again, I would like to open one more. Right. Okay. So we have seen all this, and now see this variable as a container which holds the data values. Variable names are case sensitive. Okay, all these things, and then comes the operators. Just a minute. Let me load the file so that it is easy for us not to spend time. Okay, no problem. Let me go back here itself. Right. The next thing what we need to know is about the data types. Okay. To explain this data types, I am just going to minimize this, and I am going to open a document which already I have prepared and kept with a simple idea. Okay, with a simple idea, it is created. Just okay, right. So this is what I have for you all. Data types in Python. The next 20-25 minutes we are going to spend for this. Now, all this we have seen the operators, different types of operators, variables, variable names we have seen. Now comes the data types. Python has got many inbuilt data types. Okay, see, unless we understand the data types, it becomes difficult to write code because data is in different forms. The value is in different forms. Okay, so by default, Python has got the following data types. Let me go for a zoom of that and show you. So these are the different types of data which Python can understand. Normally, when we deal with numbers, okay, when we deal with numbers, we call it as numeric data type. This numeric data type can hold integer, float, as well as complex. Integer means a real number like 1, 2, 3, like that, without decimal. Float means with decimal values. Complex is, a plus ij, that kind of type, number type. So apart from this, we deal a lot of data as characters. Okay, so here we call it a string data type. So how it is mentioned in Python, the same way I have listed it here. All these can be directly used as functions. Okay, so str is a function. So I can convert something to a string. Int is for integer, float is for the decimal values, complex I told you. Now, apart from these general data types, Python has got some special data types. One of the most used special data type is what is called as list. Next, we are going to see a lot of examples of what list is capable of and all that. You have something called as tuple. You have something called as range. There is a small difference between this list data type and tuple data type. List data types, duplicates are allowed. It can change its values. Tuple, it is not allowed. Okay, so that is the difference. And you have another data type called as mapping type. See, I have list of student names, or I have list of employee names belonging to different departments. Okay, so I just want to know the department name and the employee name. Department name, employee name. So this employee name is identified with this key. Okay, so dictionary is going to have two parts. One is the key and the value for it. Like this, you can create and access the elements and all that. So that way, it's going to be different from list. Now, where this list data type, dictionary data type are used, if you ask me, hopefully all of you are using e-commerce sites. One simple example I can tell you. Now, for example, in Amazon or Flipkart, you're searching for some automobile accessories. So automobile is the key or the name of the dictionary or name of the list. Okay, so dictionary, in that automobile is equal to, now for example, four-wheeler, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, like this we have. So in four-wheeler, I have the value as accessories. Now again, there are different types of accessories for four-wheeler. So all these are created as lists. When we search, we are able to get the right results because of this only. So it is going to go and match in that list. Okay, automobile, it has filtered. Then four-wheelers, it has filtered. Then accessories, then it has filtered. In that, for example, car covers. So in that, it has filtered. Now again, you will see there are more of list filters is there. When I have filtered to this many levels, again, there are a lot of filters. How do you choose a product? Maybe based on the rating, star rating, we say, right? Or maybe from low price to high price to low price. Based on all these conditions, again, you get the filtered results. And based on the filtered results, again, the next time you will get similar results using artificial intelligence. These e-commerce websites or portals, they get that, right? So for such purposes, this list, dictionary type, tuple type, all that is going to be there. Now, when it varies, many times we use list. Why? Because the values can be changed. Okay. If it is something fixed, I want to identify that with the key value, then the dictionary data type. So like this, these are the important data types that we have. Okay, so now in our program, suppose we want to find out what is the data type I am using. See, for example, I am assuming assigning A is equal to 20, right? I just want to know what is the type, data type. See, data type. So type is a function. Using the type function, I can find out what is the data type. So I need to just type type of the name. See this? Shift enter, it shows int. You can see that it shows int as the data type. Okay, so now B is equal to 2.32. Okay, now what is the type of that B? See this, it says float. Like this, using the type function or the type method, I can find out the type of the data. Okay, I can find out the type of the data. So type of variable you have to give. Right. Now coming back to this data types. So some examples I added. See this, you can straight away give type of X or print of that. So I have typed out some examples for you for easy understanding. See this is the result what you are going to get for the data type. I have typed X equal to within double quotes hello world. It is going to show you str. Now X equal to 20. If you go for the type function, it's going to show you the result as int, means integer. Okay, then X equal to 20.5, it is going to show you float. X equal to 1j, it is going to show you the result as complex. Now X equal to apple, banana, cherry, all that, it's going to show you list. Now with the curved braces, it is going to show the same thing as tuple. Now range, if I use range of something, then it's going to show the data type as range. Now like this, I told you dictionary data type, right? You have the key and the value. See this key and value. Name is John, age is 36. So it is going to return as a dict. Now the same way with curly braces, when you have something as a list of items, it is a set of values assigned to a variable name. So it's set. So like this you have. Now I can be specific about the data type, what I want, what I require. So how do I specify? Take the same functions and assign it to the variables. If I have some external input, I just want to convert it as integer. Okay, very simple. Int of that variable name is going to convert it. See this, how to set the specific data type. Okay, so I just put it inside str of. So whatever I have typed here, it is going to get converted as a string. Int of 20, whatever I have mentioned here as value, it is going to get converted as integer. This is going to converted as float. See this is going to get converted as complex. So the same way, the whatever data types you have seen here, right? All these can be used as functions to convert the data type. Okay. Now, one more thing is there here. See this. Now, when I say that I can create variables without, different set of syntax or something like that, the same way I can assign many values to many variables. Okay. For example, see this, x comma y comma z is equal to, okay, I am giving some values 20 comma 30 comma 10. See this in a single line. So that is very important. Assign many values to many variables in one line. This is how we do it. Now, for example, I just want to check what is the value of z. Okay, print is a function for the output. So I just put mention z. See this, it shows 10. Now I just move here, change it as y and print it. You can see that it shows 30, means the second value is assigned to. So normally, how do we do in programming languages? X equal to 20, then y equal to 30, then z equal to 10. So here you can assign many values to many variables in one line. The same way, what you can do is you can assign many values to one variable, okay, in one line. So one variable name, it is going to contain multiple values. So that is what is called as list in Python. Maybe one example I'll go with. Y is equal to, I am having some values. Okay, see this. Now when I print y, see what happens. So many values are there. It has printed out all the values. Okay, but it is all identified by one variable. So this variable y is holding these many values. So in Python, it's very simple. You can understand here. You can assign many values to many variables in one line of a code, or you can assign many values to one variable in one single line, right? So that is one other important thing which we need to know. Okay. Now, when I say the data types, the integer data type or a string data type, all that is very easy, right? You just assign it, it picks it, or you want to convert it, you use the same method to convert. All that is fine. So where do we need to spend more of this session is on list and dictionary. So what I'm going to do quickly is I am going to show you step by step what are the things that can be done with the list. Okay. So basically, when I say list, very simple definition. See, list holds a collection of values. That's all. Okay, list holds a collection of values. So how do I create a list? What is the syntax of list? Okay, so list name is equal to, within square brackets, I have to create the list. So separated, each element separated by comma, like this. Okay, so if it is a string, you can use double quotes or single quotes, that both are allowed. Okay, so now let us create a list, then see the options one by one. So I am going to create a list. So list is a special data type of Python. I am going to create a list called my list. Okay, so let me use this. My list is equal to, open the square bracket. So I'm going to use double quotes here. See this, I'm going to add some fruit names here. Apple, comma, orange, comma, mango, comma, or else guava. Okay, so now I have 4 elements in my list. So let me just print it out and see what it has got me to show. You all can see that it is showing me the elements of the list. Okay, now I have a doubt. What is that? What is the type of this data? Okay, so list type. So how do I find out? Very simple. I need to just type of my list. You can see that it says list is the type. Okay, I can access the elements of the list directly. Now, since this is an array form, always the first element value is 0. For example, in this list, apple value is 0, orange value is 1, mango is 2, and guava is 3, right? Suppose I just want to know what is there as the second element of my list. How do I find out? Very simple. See this, I go with the print function, print of my list within square bracket, you just type the element number. Suppose I type 2. Okay, see this, it says mango. Okay, so this is how I can have access to my elements of the list. Let me add it as a comment for you. Okay, so how to access the elements of a list. Very simple, right? Okay, now suppose I want to remove one particular item from the list. Okay, I just add hash. How to remove items from the list. There are many methods. You have a function called remove, you have a function called pop, 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 all that can be used. Okay. So let me use this way, my list dot pop of 2. Okay. You can see that it has pulled out mango. Okay. Now just let me type and see. See this, previously 4 items were there, 4 elements were there in my list. Now I have popped out the second item, means 0, 1, 2. The second item here as per the list is mango. So that has got removed. And what it has removed, it has shown me. And now I have tried to print the list and see the values. And you can see that it is showing 3. This is how I can easily remove something. Okay. The same way I can modify, I can add also. Okay. So how to add, right? So my list dot append is the function. Okay. So now I am going to add pineapple. Okay. So just print my list and see what happens. See this. Now, instead of 3, you can see that it is showing 4 fruits. Means I have added one more item at the end of the list. Right? I have added at the end of my list. Now, same way, even if you have thousands of items in the list, you can just like that clear the content of the list. Okay. So how to clear the content of the list is using the function called clear. So if I go for my list dot clear, then it is going to clear the items. But before that, let me show you some other options. Then I'll finally clear the list. Okay. Right. So how do I sort the elements of the list? That is also very important, right? So how to sort a list? For sorting, the keyword is going to be what? Sort. Very simple. Okay. So I need to give my list dot sort. Now, suppose if you just like that give, no problem. Or if you want to specify ascending order or descending order, you can just add this. Reverse is equal to true. Okay. Reverse is equal to true. And then you print it. See this. Okay. On small mistake. See here. Please remember true T is caps. Okay. Now you can see that. Right. So P, then O, then G, then A means in the descending order, it has sorted the elements of the list. Okay. So reverse equal to true. Reverse equal to false means it is going to sort it out in the ascending order. Okay. The same way I can copy the elements of one list to another list. Okay, I can use a function called as copy, or I can straight away copy. All that is possible. Okay, so let me do that. See this, I am going to name it as new list. This new list is the list which is going to contain all the values of my list. Okay, so my list dot copy. Okay. See this. So I have 2 lists now. One is my list, which is having 4 items. And the same way I have new list. That new list is also having, 4 items. So I have made a copy of that. Right. So this is how you can easily, copy the contents of one list to another list. Now see this. I am going to copy both these lists to one more list. I'm going to create a third list. Very simple. See this. Third list equal to my list plus new list. See how simple it is. Okay, let me print third list. Can you see this? It has just combined my list contents as well as new list contents, and it has put it in the name called as third list. So this is how you work with the different options of list. Okay, now I am going to clear the my list. My list is having 4 items. I am just going to clear. Very simple. My list dot clear. Okay, so I just go with my list. You can see that now when I print that, it is showing a empty list is what is available. Means the items that were present all got cleared. Okay, right. So before we end this, I would like to add one more example of dictionary, right? So how do you create a dictionary? Because that is also one type, a special data type of Python. Very simple. Now the same automobile example I am going to take. So please understand the purpose of dictionary. So what is that? It has a key and value, right? So let us create a dictionary. The way how you created a list, the same way you are going to create, but not with square brackets. I name it as my dict. Instead of my list, I am going to name it as my dict. My dict is equal to, open the curling braces. Okay, so first one is key. See, I put it as brand. Okay, now add a colon and again go for the quotes. It can be double quotes or single quotes. Okay, so I am putting this as Audi. Okay, now after this, just add a comma. So I have a key and I have a value. Now again, model colon Q7 and just adding a model. Okay, comma color colon red. Okay, so you can see that 3 keys are there and 3 values are there. Okay, right. So I'm just going to print this my dict. See this. Now if I want to check whether it's a dictionary type or not, I go with the type of my dict. You can see that the data type is dict. Okay, so this is how we deal with different types of data. The data types that we have seen today is what is most of the times that we use, right? So today's session, we have learned about the different data types. We have learned about the different types of operators and how to create a variable, how to assign a value to a variable, and how to convert the different types of values using the different data types is what we have seen in the second session of this series of learning Python. If you have got any doubts up to this, I am there here to help you out, to clarify your doubts. So anybody has got any questions to ask me, please go ahead. I don't see any questions. I am just waiting from the participants. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or we end the session. Okay. See you all again in one more session on the series of webinars for Python learning. Thank you all.